very much. Thank you. That was actually, I'm okay for Sam? Great. That was actually one of my favourite evenings in property. So we were on a panel. I was quite new, so anybody that's a little bit new, a little bit nervous. I was, to be fair, I was at the front speaking, but nonetheless quite new and quite nervous. And then I think 11 of us went out for supper afterwards. There was nothing open apart from McDonald's. And so we went to McDonald's. We had 99p donuts. We're all sat on the really tall stools, and I'm quite little, so my feet are going like this. And everybody pretty much around the table, I suspected, was a millionaire apart from me at the time. And so I just sat there going, wah, 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 wah. And it was just property talk. It was fantastic. One of my favourite evenings ever. It was brilliant fun. Okay, nice to have you guys with me. We are clearly going to win on the residential side, aren't we? Come on. Now this is a friendly competition, but we still want the knockout punch. Definitely. We've checked each other's slides out and we've seen our weaknesses, so let's see how we get on. I'll give you a tiny bit of background, just so you can kind of place. If you've never seen me before, go, okay, well, how did she get from there to there? And this is why Resi wins, because there's kind of the ease to getting into Resi, which we'll talk about. So my why is classically family. My kids, my responsibilities, as I call them, because I'm head of household, so I was double hugs, double the responsibility, was very, very strong, a very strong feeling of wanting to provide support and security and stability. And that still continues. My son is now 21, enjoying life in Barcelona. Mom, making dream work, he says, as I lend him the money for deposit. And my daughter is in Bristol. So that's still very strongly there, and actually the kind of focus on family is still a why for me. And I think it's easier if it's for someone else than if it's for yourself, because you'll go all out, won't you, for somebody else. And so that worked for me. You know this guy. He will tell you how it is, he won't pull any punches. He's been doing that with me for like 8 years now. And I go, oh yeah, ooh, I never thought about that. And Vanish has been guiding, telling me off, encouraging me, listening when I just got in front and go, oh, and just let it all go out. And my friend as well. So if you have never met Vanish, he's over there. And I would suggest you want to go talk to him afterwards. He won't sugarcoat it, but take in the information, it's well worth it. I think we all know that, don't we? Yeah. Okay, the guy that you don't know, necessarily, is this guy. So I'm into Olympic weightlifting. I don't know why, it's because I do CrossFit, and I'm small, and I want to, funnily enough, beat the girls who are bigger than me, so I need to get better technique. And he's my coach. He went to Rio, so I went to Rio. You probably heard me screaming from Rio to England, because I was so excited for him. How he inspires me is he lifts crazy amount of weight above his head. That's nuts. Who thinks they can do that? He just says, yeah, I can do it. The second way he inspires me is he screws up. I mean, I've seen him, you don't need to know about Olympic weightlifting, but basically if you do 3 lifts and you fail, you're out. So you can train for a year, miss the lift 3 times, it's highly technical. If your nerves take you over, you're gone. I saw it in the Olympics, people were out. He only got 4 lifts out of 6. If he'd gotten 3, he'd have been out. And so he fails, he gets up, and I'm thinking, oh my God, how's he going to cope? He goes, yeah, no problem, I learned. And then the third thing is he works, so it's lovely that he's on the world stage as an international athlete, but I see him working every day, because I train with him 3 or 4 times a week. So that's another inspiration that I take from my athletic side, which I use to chill out, into sport, back into my business. So, some of you guys were probably in the room. Louis, I think you were in the room when Vanish, before I left my job. Vanish was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to do 60 deals in a year! And I think he just went, oh my God, I better look after her. I did 43 deals that year. I was really annoyed. And I was, because my target was 60. But 43 is okay, isn't it? To jump out of your day job. So we ran a sourcing business for 5 years. And really, the reason to run the sourcing business was to get the revenue in order to buy the residential assets. And so we did 45 million quid worth of property at an agreed purchase price of 30 million quid, and that was before refurb. And why? Because somebody said you can't do it. I was like, yeah, I can. We're in Bristol. So you cannot tell me in London that you can't find deals. Now I know London is more expensive, but all the people tell me that Bristol is highly profitable, there's lots of people with money, nobody's going to sell discounted deals. Guys, we did that in 5 years. So if I can do it, you can do it. So that's about a barrier to entry and being able to find those deals. And it's a numbers game, and I'm going to show you that, which is another reason why Resi is so good. So where am I at now? I've got millions of pounds worth of property, which is lovely, great. Most of it in my personal name. Cheers, George, for everybody that knows what that means. Like, thanks, mate. What does that mean for me? I got about £1 million in my limited company, like, duh, everything else is in my personal name. It means I'm forced to be a better businesswoman. I don't mind that push. It means I need to think about flexible, fluid, and more professional ways to improve my business. Great. If George hadn't come in, I'd have kept buying. And I am continuing to buy, but I'm doing a year of tucking under. If George hadn't come in, I wouldn't have started paying off properties. I have. It's really fun. It kind of makes you go a bit wobbly when you pay for property. You go in, you pay it off, you come out again, you go, whoop, how did that happen? So, for me, the next stage is how do I take that asset base and improve and grow it, and mix some of the ideas from commercial to get back into resi to improve that asset base, to beat some of the kind of legislative stuff that's coming our way. Because that stuff comes your way, use it as a challenge to improve your business. That's the only response you need to have, isn't it? So let's talk about resi. These are little cuties, and let's talk about being able to make good money in resi while making mistakes. The one on the left, most of my houses I paint blue because I'm a girl, I like blue, they're fine, this one is now bright blue on the right. It's not a very nice colour, we're going to paint it pot soft blue. Brixton Road, a single let, bought for 85,000. It was 130 revalued at the time, I know, because otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. And now it's been revalued about a year ago for 240. Capital growth for residential. Yes, get in, sucker punch. Cladesdale Road wasn't such a great deal, it was perfectly okay. 92.5, had to spend a bit more money because we found some more stuff. It happens. 130 and it's revalued at 190. So single lets, I never hear from those guys. They're in, they stay in there for like 2.5 years before they move out again. So easy, it's unbelievable. All the money's back out, infinite return on capital employed, delicious. And I bought that one from auction, and I bought that one from auction. HMOs, shared houses, that kind of thing. We're not going to go through masses of numbers here, but my figures include 10% for repairs, and anyone that's running residential, just put 10% aside for repairs so that your tummy feels comfortable. I want you to note a couple of things. Bought for 265, big renovation cost, found dry rot all over the house. These things happen. Comedy's property, property's comedy. Reval for 475, that's quite nice, isn't it? Did your boss give you that pay increase? Okay, residential. Capital growth and the ability to find discounted. I make £1,000 off that one after mortgage bills and 10% repairs. Not bad. Castle Road. Oh, and this one, I bought with my own money. This one, nah, I borrowed 100%. In fact, I borrowed 167,500 from this one, but I only bought it for 150, so I spent the other 17.5 plus some extra money on the refurb. I borrowed the rest of the refurb money from somebody else. So I bought for 150, renovation 50, it was revalued then at 275, it's now been revalued at 330 capital growth. And, £1.5 net profit a month. Not bad. This one, I bought this one with 100% loan from a private investor who used to lend me 600 grand a year and say, will you please hurry up and spend my money? Okay, if you insist. Yes, he got interest, fine. And yes, I bought property after property after property. That I completely own, he's been paid off, well done to him, he gets paid off within 6 to 8 months, look, over £1,000 a month. So do you see, I can buy properties after properties after properties that are discounted, so this one I bought for 203, it was revalued at the time 330, it's recently been revalued 450, capital growth. We're liking the reasons for resi, we're definitely voting for the resi, not that, I'm now competitive. Okay. So George comes in, doofs me one, doesn't he, with the Section 24 and the fact I've worked crazy hard for a very long time to build a multi-million pound portfolio. I'm just about ready to go and do lots of sport, enjoy my family, and here I'm hitting some serious taxation problems. Okay, how to make it better? Serviced accommodation. I can use all of my interest costs because there are plenty, or they're not plenty, there are adequate number of mortgages available for serviced accommodation. The building societies, they start at 2.09%. That's not tricky to pay, is it? And you get roughly 300%, or your target should be to get revenue of 300% of what your AST money should be. So instead of just doing the single let, why don't I do service accommodation, automate an awful lot of it, aim for 300%, obviously got some higher costs, but suddenly my revenue per square foot is improved. How about we get flexible again? How about we do some buy to sell? How about we do some lovely lump sums of cash? This little bad boy, I did this one with my own money. Oh, by the way, I got a block of flats, Did I buy it with my money? No. I bought it fully with investors' money. They were paid out. I'm running those flats. I own those flats. So again, how many of these houses are bought with my money originally? How many do I own? All of them. And how many can you buy if you're buying with investors' money? Give them some profit, pay them out, and you own the property for the rest of your life. Infinite. As long as you're good at finding discounted deals. Why we like resi? Because investors understand resi. Ellsworth, a little cutie, bought for that, sold for that. Sold within 11 days, I think it was. And it was just a general refurb. You know the classic where you open up the dining room to the kitchen and make a large kitchen diner, stayed up with tons of cushions, we've got £1,000 worth of cushions, we've bought from Asda, and sold. I like doing buy to sell. At one point I was doing 30 buy to sales at the same time, because you can scale up. My cushions moved from house to house to house. It was the same cushion, we call it the sex tray, it's the same set I thought was food. It's actually, I did, I like food. And it was just a nice tray that goes on top of the double bed with the coffee and the you've seen my pictures, haven't you? And one of my stages went, oh, that's your sex tray, so it's definitely the sex tray now. So, that's quite nice, isn't it? Nice little chunks of, you can get into that. That one I actually did with my own money. Well done, Snooze. Took one for the team. This one, who would like this one for buy to sell? You wouldn't mind that? It didn't take me very long to renovate that. Look, it was 2 flats, hired landlord, bought for 300. We renovated £6,000 in one and 7.8 in the other, which I know doesn't quite add up. It should be, say, 13.8, not 13.5. So, the key about these 2 renovations at 15 grand and at 13.8 grand, and my mistake was putting in 5, not 8, how fast are those renovations? We're talking cookie cutter, stamp it in, sort it, turn it out, turn it round, get it sold. Look what we sold it for. It's not bad. Did I do that with my money? No. It was a joint venture. We put no money in, but we put all the work in. How many of those can you do? If you're somebody else is funding 100% of them, why? Because they understand the residential concept. They probably don't understand the commercial concept. Not I'm trying to be competitive, but you know, bring it. We've been friends for a long time, so it's quite good fun. So, do you see how we got some cookie cutters? We got some single-let cookie cutters. We got some HMO cookie cutters. Because guess what? The exact same paint in all my properties. The carpet, the lino, the tiles, the kitchen, everything's the same. No messing around. We got some buy-to-sell cookie cutters. The exact same paint. Everything is a cookie cutter. Very limited decision-making. Get in, get out, get fast. We've got a cookie cutter on raising private finance. We've got a cookie cutter on, sometimes I do it for myself as well. The cookie cutter for whole long-term holders, I hold them. I never hold them in joint ventures. So why residential? So I've shown you serviced accommodation, I've shown you singlets, I've shown you shared houses, or we also built houses. Not many so far, but we have. We just failed the SAP test yesterday by 0.75, so I've got to seal up some more bits and pieces. That's when they put air into the house. It's no biggie, it's not a major deal to have failed it. We just have to get the engineer back. We've also done planning, split a whole bunch of houses into flats. We've sold with planning and not having renovated. We've split, renovated and sold individually. So look at the flexibility you can involve in residential. Look at the fluidity and the flexibility and the lump sums of cash or the nice long-term revenue that comes in residential. So why is residential good? Every single person in the UK needs a home. So they're either going to rent or they're going to buy. Great. I'll sell your house, I'll rent your house. I'll rent your room, I'll rent your holiday accommodation. You choose, you are my mass market. I will sell to the broad mass market. So I have got very limited concern about void rates. Non-existent concern about void rates, which is one for resi. It's easy to understand. You notice that over 50% of the deals I showed you were not funded by me. I started off with 60 grand, and I'm head of household, single parent. How am I going to raise loads of money? I raised 600 grand in 14 weeks. I'll give you the maths. 1 in 10 people you meet at a property event is an investor with money. 1 in 2 of those people will say yes to you if you screen them properly and work the relationship and enjoy the relationship. Never work it, never manipulate, just enjoy. So on average, they'll give you 50 grand. What that means is, for every 20 people, count, in a room like this, there's 50 grand for you if you run a professional fundraising campaign and like them. In order to raise £1 million, you need to meet 400 people. It's a mathematical certainty if you follow the process. How many people in this room? Well, there's 500,000, 750,000 in this room. If you follow the process and collect the business cards, how easy is that in terms of barrier to entry? So you can meet, your investors understand the concept. We all understand the concept, we just want to get better in this room. But you know why you're here. Your team understands the concept. Therefore, you don't need to employ people with high-level specialism, and actually you need to employ people who understand what it's like to buy houses or what it's like to live in houses. And so the cost of your team, because you are going to have, whether you outsource them to letting agents who fight on price or whether you bring them in-house, I have people in-house that manage my properties, are going to understand the concept. And your customers. Everybody needs to live in a house. They're either going to buy it from me or they're going to rent it from me. I don't mind. It's extra being both. So, high numbers. If we need to replace tenants, guess what? There's another one coming along. You just, notice given, rent, advertise it, rent it. If we need to replace investors, guess what? There's 1 in every 20 will be an investor if I run a proper fundraising campaign. So it's a comfortable flow of position. And if we want to recruit teams, so for example, this year, we intend to save about 60 to 75 grand in salaries. We're not cutting people, but we're not growing because we're going to spend between 5 and 10 grand on tech to save between 60 and 75 grand on salaries because we've got technological interest now on how to make things more efficient. So, but also, if you're needing new folks coming into your team, they're going to understand the whole concept. So, do you see what I'm saying? It's a relatively low barrier to entry. Now you're going to say, Suze, I don't have the money. Okay, go raise it. I raised 600 grand in 14 weeks. I've since raised millions and millions of pounds. It's a formal process. You need proper legal documentation. We've got all of that on our website. We call it sample legal docs. I spent 2.5 grand on it, but I think someone else like 20, 30 quid. It's a sample. I spent 2.5 grand on it. Fill your boots, guys. So there's tons of funding providers, aren't there? There's loads of buy-to-let mortgage providers. There's commercial, there's loads of bridges. There aren't millions of service accommodation mortgage people, but there are some. There's an adequate number that you can get competitive rates. Loads and loads and loads of private investors, and they understand the concept, so it's easy to talk them through property. And I raised 600 grand. If I can do it, you can do it. And I raised that when I was still working full-time and looking after responsibility number 1 and responsibility number 2. Or cost centre 1 and cost centre 2. So if I can do it, you guys can do it. The deals are out there. I have no truck with, how do I put it politely, the secrets I can sell you. It just doesn't sit with me at all, as you can probably imagine. I am very straight speaking. 12% of properties are sold wholesale. So BMV, all the rest of it, you saw my stuff where you saw that what I bought it for and what it immediately revalued for within 6 months, and then later on what capital growth went for. The only property I've never bought discounted was the one that most time went to college. I got £1.5 grand off. Yay me. Everything else was seriously discounted, i.e. wholesale purchases. 12% of every house sold sold as a discounted deal. I want you to think about it wholesale rather than discounted so that your mind acclimatises if you've never done that before. They are everywhere. Everybody told me I couldn't do it in Bristol. Yes. You want me to do something? Tell me I can't do it. So we did 200 deals in just under 5 years, and they told us it wasn't possible. Yes, it is. And that is in a wealthy city. You can do this in London. One of my mentoring guys, Jethro, he made 140 grand net profit doing 2 buy-to-sells in London. Good for him. So they're on 2%. That means you just need to do a numbers game. If you haven't viewed 100 properties, you're not going to find 2 deals, are you? You need to view the properties, you need to make hundreds of phone calls, you need to put offers on 85% of properties you view. So do you see how everything's quite simple in property? Because there's low barrier to entry in terms of skill. I'm not saying I'm dumb, but I do say treat Susie like she's stupid, and it keeps my life quite simple that way. And then the strengths of Resi. Not that, in loveliness. I had a peek at his, and he had a peek at mine earlier on. But the assets. Look at the capital growth I've shown you in less than a decade. I had a property I bought for 120 that revalued at 240, and that's just normal. I had Albion, I bought it for 120, it should have been 180, so straight away I got my discount. It revalued for 270. That's normal. You do that many times. Remember, you're not buying it with your own money, you're buying it with someone else's money. Great, they get interest in the first year, good for them, but you keep that asset for the rest of your life. That is normal, comfortable. Secondly, I'm now borrowing from the commercial world that focus of, right, what's my income? And please don't ask me in the break because I haven't yet calculated it. What is my income per square foot, and how do I double, triple and quadruple it? So for example, I'm going to turn quite a lot of my HMOs into flats. I'm going to add, after all costs, a couple of million quid to my asset value, which reduces my lending, because of course I'm lower loan to value, which increases my revenue, which is quite nice after all costs, and then I can decide how I play with those assets. Do I move them to service accommodation and get 3 times the AST? Aren't these lovely flexible choices? Which is why Resi is so good. And then you can look at ASTs, shared houses, can't you? Flats, service accommodations. We've sold houses which we added planning to but didn't actually do any work, put them into auction. We've cut gardens off, put planning on it, made 50 grand. It was a piece of grass. Thank you. You know, I'm just about to put planning on another piece of grass that I've got and sell it for about 80 to 90 grand. Your boss isn't going to give you that kind of uplift, are they? So you can play with this fun, flexible, fluid, asset creating, capital growth creating, increasing income per square foot that is residential. So don't get worried. PESEL, the thing that we were worried about, you know, the thing that you talked about. What's the government doing to us? Well, what do I care? What I care is how do I respond, how do I improve as a businesswoman, and how do I not let them kick my ass, and how do I make sure that their attack, if you want to call it that, on me, turns my business into a better business. That's the only way, in my opinion, you can respond. So, PESEL's political, economic, social, legal, technological, and environmental. And it's a kind of classic thing that you do to look at the outside marketplace. So politically, yeah, they put in section 24. Yeah, it's more than a bit annoying when I first did the maths. Like one of those animal documentaries, you know, the lizard. Okay, great. I've now got a thriving service accommodation business. I've now started to pay off some of my houses. I've now got plans on what I'm going to do. So service accommodation, pay off, and work around on moving and vanish to limited liability partnership. Low interest rates, which is the economic. What does that mean? Tons of funders because they haven't got anywhere to place their money. Social, we're going to talk about in the next slide, but it's a mass market. Technological, we've talked about reducing our 60 to 75 grand that we would have done in recruitment to 5 to 10 grand spend on tech. Great, gives me more money, guess what I'm going to do with that money? Pay off more properties. And then the law, whilst, yeah, there's some stuff we need to do, but the law is largely on your side. If you're new, join something like UPAD. By the way, we rent with UPAD, and we also evict with landlord action, portion cleaner. So 2 ends to the middle. And we're also a member of National Landlord Association, their legal helpline. I was hugging onto that like a little teddy bear when I first started. I still phone them up every now and again to check legal points as well. And then of course you can be so flexible with the product, and we've gone through a whole bunch of different product ideas. Buy to sell, buy to keep, single let, service accommodation, land development, HMOs. Delicious, moving up the income chain all the way. And then let's look at the UK. We know there's high demand because nobody's built anything, have they? We know there's high demand because millennials are experienced people. Give me it now and give me it high quality. Okay, you're going to be renting that, and so I'm going to produce something real high quality for them. We know there's high demand because more and more houses are becoming single households. We know that people don't buy to the age of 39 to 40. Brilliant, more tenants for me. And when I do sell, I'll be much more likely to sell flats than large houses because people are not moving up the value chain so much. So I know my product. We know that there's low stock because they haven't built. Okay, great, let's go and push demand up more. Yay for Resi. We know that the market's fluid. It's not quite liquid, but you can sell a house within 3 months. Yeah, you know. And if you're desperate, you pop into an auction. Low barriers to entry, time, money, skills. Money is in the room. Skills are quite simple, and time is your main barrier to entry. So if you're in a day job, jump. Honestly, jump before you can afford it, is my genuine experience. Interest rates are low, so the money's in the room, isn't it? And then there's a whole bunch of different routes. 2% of all properties are sold wholesale. Auctions, estate agents, direct to landlords. I hope you're all paying people through Upwork, £3 an hour, to collect landlords' numbers. because they're going to be freaking about the Section 24 in the future, and you need to collect thousands and thousands of landlord names to text them and go, would you like to sell? Tenants rubbing nuts, £3 an hour, £3.24 an hour. We paid Jagaro in Hyderabad in India to collect those names for us. Do you think Resi should win? I think there's so much fluidity, flexibility, entrepreneurialism, opportunity, low void rate, high revenue, a number of different ways that you can flex within residential property. I definitely think we should be in as a contender, don't you? So, how you can get in contact with us, we're a good property company. Arthur, who has also done 6 projects of his own, and he looks, well, he's in his early 20s, unlike people like me. You speak to Arthur, he's in our marketing team, or he runs our marketing team. We do workshops, just occasional. We think we've got 3 or 4 left in the year. We've got 2 mentoring programs, 1 online and 1 face-to-face, and quite a few of the guys are here tonight. We do online products, so you're welcome to download. My interest is, if it's changed my life, then make it change your life too, and produce this material for you guys. I want it to be very high quality. And then many of you have probably seen, we've got the largest UK property YouTube channel. It's close to 1,000 videos. Do not watch the one where I do a 10k around Central Park in New York and then think it's a really good idea to shoot a video. It's deeply embarrassing. But we've divided them into playlists for you guys, so if you should look up Susannah or The Good Property Company, it's the biggest YouTube channel in the UK. So you're welcome to start off on the free stuff. Good luck, commercial. I think Resi's hit it, don't you?